Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is msimp again with reasontowork.com. I'd like to welcome you back. Appreciate you guys for checking out a lot of the tutorials. Been getting some good feedback, and so today I want to basically set up a video on some of the feedback that I've been getting. A lot of people asked about my drums and kind of how we get that sound out of Reason stock. So I wanted to share a template with you guys that basically is what I use on a day-to-day basis. Essentially it is a couple of reverbs, what I like to call grit, and a delay in the mastering chain, and then also I run my redrum basically through each mix channel. And then what we have here is the option to blow, quote unquote, put your drums on steroids, you know, as they're coming in straight out of the redrum. So I want to kind of show you how those are set up, and then what we'll do is we'll start one from scratch, and then we'll show you how to save this template so that every time you get on Reason, you start, basically this will be kind of where you begin. So what I have going on here, if you look at my mix channel, my send effect units, basically if you want to set one of these up, which we'll do here in just a minute, but I've got a plate reverb, a room reverb, tape echo, delay, and then another tape. And this is basically just my Scream 4 unit here. And then the way you activate the sends on each channel, if I want more plate reverb here, say on redrum channel 1, I just activate it here. And with the redrum, what I have going on is basically every drum channel is corresponding with a mix channel. And then in that particular mix channel, I've given myself the option to add compression, reverb, unison unit, which is incredibly dope, delay, M-class maximizer, and then again, like I showed you in the last tutorial, if I want to carve and do some different things frequency wise, an M-class equalizer. So, and then you see at the top, I've named this my initial R6 Reason file, but it's read only. So on Mac, what that means is I cannot record. So if I got on here, try to lay a pattern, it's going to give me the file as a read only alert message. Basically, you can't edit or record audio to this. So what you need to do is you create a copy of the song. So basically every song that I have will start here. It just lets me know that this is my template. And then what I do from here is save as. So you'll save it as something else. So let's open up a new one and we'll start from scratch. So this is what I like to call my big drum template. From the jump, what I'll do is I'll get in here into my effects chain. Right now you can't edit anything, you need to add those in. So right up under my master section, let's go add whatever we want to see. I've got some pretty dope REs, and I'll put this leveling LA two-way emulation model here, and you can see, you can see that as soon as that's added, it gets named here. So this is now your first effect set. All right. Whatever else you want to see here, we can do, you know, a Scream 4. I always like to put some type of reverb here. Let's go with a maximizer, and we can go with let's go with another compression unit. This one is crazy as well, the fat compressor. All right. So these are just 5 units that I just added, and then where they go in your chain is right up under your mastering section. All right. And so if you like, I mean, you can minimize all of these, kind of save yourself some space. And then from there, what I do is I'll create 10 mix channels. I don't even know where these are at. There we go. All right. And those are going to auto route. And what I'll do is duplicate those. So that's just Command and D on the Mac. And I'm creating 10 because the redrum by default has 10 channels. You can create more. I've seen people, you know, use the Kong. I actually did a tutorial on routing Kong on it, each pad on its own channel into the SSL. So this is essentially the redrum on its own channel into the SSL. Each channel out of the redrum into the SSL. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 10. There we go. All right. So I'll create a redrum unit here, and I'm gonna hold shift as I activate that. Now what I want to do, this one is a lot more, a lot simple than routing that COM. Redrum is pretty straightforward, and every single one of my tracks start that way. All right, so we'll just route all of these. You can do this on your own. Hopefully if you're watching this video, you can set this up, you can follow along with me. But I want to show you how to get the most out of your Reason. I hear a lot of people complain about the Reason stock sound. I hear a lot of people say, you know, Reason sounds thin, blah, blah, blah. My opinion, Reason is what you make it. So I just took the time to kind of make it what I wanted. I'm gonna initialize this. Reset device. All right, so no sounds. So when I'm creating a template, I don't want anything recorded. I don't want any sounds and any instruments, because every time I start here, those particular sounds will be loaded up. That particular recorded audio will be there, and you may or may not want to use that every single time that you get on. All right. So then I take it a step further. For time's sake, I'll just name this one, but we'll call this one Redrum Channel 1. So that's going to correspond to this unit right here into this channel. But as you can see, you still have the option to insert effects even in your mix channels. So then what I like to do is essentially blow my drums up. So I know typically on channel 1, I'll put a kick drum. So the first thing I want to use there is, you know, RE2A. Like I said, you guys, if you're not up on these RE2As, these FET compressors, there's some incredible rack extensions out there that you guys need to check out. And then they give you the option to try those for 30 days before you buy them. It will change the scope of your music drastically, trust me. So I'll add something like that. One of my favorite units, the M-Class EQ. Even though we already have a reverb unit, if I want to do some individual or some different types of reverbs, I may change this to a small room. And I may not send this particular channel to a send effect for that particular reverb. All right. Maybe add a delay and then a unison. And then for some grit, you know, getting creative, we may add line 6. All right. So this will be my kick channel. So when I put a drum in here, I've got full range over how that drum sounds here in my mix channel. I can still send effects for it here. I still have EQ ability here, low pass, high pass, and then the channel's compression settings. All right. So your drums can get as big as you want them to. Now I always am working with my master insert effects by default with them off every single time. I don't want to mix with that. And then what I also like to do is I don't turn this on either. This is basically the glue for your entire mix. I won't mess with this until I'm actually done or I'm actually getting ready to master a track. But essentially that's how I set my chain up. And this is a default template for me. So I'll go in on each different channel. I may set it up the exact same. I may add different devices here. But the main thing that you want to do is you want to save this as, so I'm going to save this as a template for big drums. We'll call it that. Okay. I'm going to put it on my desktop. So now I'm working. Everything that we saved is the exact same. We've got all of the insert effects that we've just added. They're all here. So every time my template will start here. But other than that, this is msimp with reasontowork.com. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. Go ahead and subscribe on reasontowork.com. Away a free drum kit that I'll be posting a video towards here in just a minute. But as always, thank you for joining, and let's learn together. Thank you.